Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? It's your girl here, Nia Leah. Welcome to the channel. So y'all, I had to come on here and talk about Palworld and their gaming developer. I just was talking about this with my friend like maybe 30 minutes ago. And we basically been talking about this game, and it's called Power. I've been seeing this game everywhere. I see a lot of people been playing this game, and I'm like, what is this about? And I saw it, and I went to go watch Dashy play it.
Shit now, bitch. It's like Fortnite, Zelda, Pokemon. It's like 8 games in one. They're like, okay, y'all try to sue us, bitch. Y'all ain't gonna find which intellectual property is gonna come out. All of y'all. What is this? Oh, damn well it's Pokemon. Stop playing with me. What's up? Yo, hold up, but they said something about they eat you. You're like, you kind of big. Like, I'm saying, you try to eat something? Like, what's up? Bitch, that is definitely a Pokemon I seen. That's like 3 Pokemons mixed together. Okay, that one's kind of cute. Am I supposed to fight him? Oh.
So I've been following this game for a very long time, and I'm super excited it's finally out. The first time I ever saw the trailer of Pokemon with guns, it was good. Dweeb. Oh, okay.
Shout out to him. And then I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and I'm like, why does I thought it was Pokemon game? I'm not even gonna kid you. When I went and looked at somebody play this game, I literally thought that Power World was Pokemon. It was like a Pokemon game, but it's not. And then I found out Power World versus Pokemon comparison. So let me read some of these comments for you guys, and then I'm gonna then I'm gonna talk a little bit more about what me and my friend was saying. So it says Pokemon doesn't own rights to animated fighting monsters. And then also right here, y'all see this this GIF or GIF. I know some people call it GIF or GIF. It shows like another Bart Simpson character kind of look alike that looks just like Bart Simpson. So you know what's going, you know what that's saying. And somebody wrote a paragraph. I'm not reading that, but it says Nintendo edged it right now to this post and the thought of a lawsuit. My thoughts exactly. So yeah, so I'm gonna, before I get into the conversation of maybe Nintendo might have a lawsuit here. I don't know. I'm not saying it, but my friend was saying, yeah, I'm willing to bet you this is the same gaming developer that made Craftopia. I bought this game called Craftopia, and it kind of looks like one of the Zelda games. I kid you not. When I look up Power World, check this out. When you look up Power, is by the gaming developer. Let's see, Pocket Pair. So yes, Pocket Pair made Power World in the same game that my friend bought right here. This is the same game. So apparently, this game looks like Breath of the Wild.
Craftopia used to have the Breath of the Wild feel to it. What will Craftopia after the seamless map update look like? Of course, we are respecting Breath of the Wild, but Craftopia will also adopt good points of other open world games as well. Okay, we know that. We know that. Craftopia is like one update away from a copyright claim, so, you know.
So I might show you some videos or some images or something so you can see Breath of the Wild compared to Craftopia. Girl, y'all, look at this. Let's get into this. So in this article, I went to go look it up. Craftopia game looks a lot like Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it seemed like these people have a history of doing this, where they make games that look like other games, and they get away with, like, they kind of get away with it a little bit. But they've been doing this lately with Zelda. I mean, with Nintendo games. So remember I mentioned this other comment before. Let me go back to the first one I was talking about. So remember, it says Pokemon doesn't own rights to animated fighting monsters. Now, maybe not the fighting part, but I was questioning up the monsters. I would believe that Nintendo or Pokemon will have ownership over their characters. Maybe not the little fighting scene, maybe not, I don't know about the story, but I think the fighting scene they might not have ownership on. So I went and read up an article on it, and it says this: Pokemon and Palworld have a lot in common. Copyright law says that's likely legal. The game from the indie Tokyo studio, once ridiculed as a ripoff of Pokemon, has become a breakout hit. Will the right host behind Pokemon take legal action? So I'm gonna read the highlight part, but I'm gonna put these link down to these articles that I read down in the description box. But I'm gonna read the highlighted part. It says the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, and Nintendo collectively own the characters' designs and the titular game and series, as well as the way that intellectual property is portrayed. But they don't own the idea of a game around players collecting monsters and battling them. See, I figured that. I figured that they wouldn't have ownership over the fighting part, but I definitely would think the character designs, they do have ownership over it. So, going back to the original post on Instagram, let's look at the pictures. So before I wrap this video, so let me explain something. So I saw people kept saying Nintendo can't sue or Pokemon can't sue, and I'm gonna explain that later on. That Nintendo and Pokemon are like joint partners. I think Game Freak is too as well. They're like joint partners as well over the Pokemon characters. So they do own the Pokemon characters, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, they can't sue because they didn't sue Craftopia. So Craftopia kind of got away with it because that character doesn't look like Zelda. I might show two images of them. Craftopia doesn't look like Zelda. The character in that game doesn't look like Zelda. They mostly are concerned about the characters and the music. I think it's the music and certain images or something like that. Like story. Um, Playstyle, you can't really copyright that. You can't copyright fight scene, fighting, but you can copyright a fighting scene that is in a story, but not like playstyle, like the game, like playing the game. You can't copyright that. I understand that, like a fighting, but um, let me give you an example. Around the Clock at the Bikini Bottom, I played this game like over a year ago, and I came back 4 months ago to play it again, right? These gaming developers had to change things around because they got copyrighted. They got in a little trouble with this game. So they had to change things around so they won't get in trouble any further. There was another game that came out. It was called Sinister Squidward. So there's right there. I had to go look it up because the game is not on itch.io. These games I'm talking about, they're on itch.io. So which is I'm talking about the SpongeBob games. The game is not on there. Apparently too many copyright infringements, and the game is gone. It's not on there. If you type it in, you can't find it. It's off. And I do believe when I had it on my list, it says something about the game was no longer available. So it takes a while for the people who actually physically are the creators of these characters to actually come out to have like a lawsuit against you. It takes a long time. So I've talked about Nintendo before in the past. So I talked about Nintendo sues emulators. And I remember having this conversation before about emulators. And I said that, and I know emulators are different because it's like the exact replica of the game. And it took Nintendo a long time to sue them. It didn't happen immediately because these emulators have been on the website for like forever. It takes them a long time to build up a case, is what I'm saying, especially when they're talking about characters. Now, with Craftopia and Palworlds, it's a different story. It's mostly with Palworlds is more about the character. With Craftopia, it just kind of looks like Zelda Breath of the Wild, but they could have kind of can get away with that, but Nintendo still can come back and say, hey, we have proof. It might take a while. They might not ever be able to sue them. It might take them a long time. It might take 5 or 6 years. So I want to bring that out. When people are suing you for something that belongs to them, it takes them a long time. They have to get information to prove that they're right. So don't sit there and believe half of these people that's on here because they don't really keep up with half of this stuff. I play a lot of different games, and I have seen where other games have gotten sued because it copied and pasted something else. So be careful with that. If you're creating something out here, try to come up with your own idea. Try to see if you can get rights on certain characters. That plays a big, huge part on it. So yeah, I want to bring that out. So I want you guys to be the judge of that, right? It's showing you the Palworld character, and then it's showing you the Pokemon character. Okay? I want you guys to see they're showing you comparisons. There you go. I want you guys to be the judge because I really do see a lot of similarity. They look exactly the same. The Palworld characters and the Pokemon characters. Is it just me? I need to know. Like, I need to talk about this because apparently these gaming developers, I think I skipped one. Let me go back. Apparently these gaming developers been having this issue for a long, since 2020 it looks like. They've been kind of ripping off on Nintendo style, and Nintendo is, I think, partners with Pokemon or over Pokemon. I think they're partners. I'll look it up. But yeah, I mean, they have a habit of doing this, and it's funny because I just had this conversation with my friend, and I did not know they did this with Craftopia by making it look like Breath of Wild. So she brought that out to me, and I was like, wow. So they've been doing this. Okay. So very interesting. So they might have a lawsuit in their hand. I don't know. But they look alike. The characters look alike. And they do have ownership over the characters, but not the fighting style. So I just want to let people know that they do have ownership over the character. But man, that's just crazy. You guys got to be the judge of it. Let me know what y'all think down below. I had to make a quick video on this because this is crazy. This is like mind blowing. I don't know if Nintendo is going to sue them or not, but that's what people are alleging. I don't know. So I looked it up. It says that Nintendo just jointly own Game Freaks with Game Freak and Creatures. Pokemon is jointly owned by 3 Nintendo Game Freak and Creatures, and it says down here Nintendo doesn't own Pokemon. I didn't think they owned them. But I think they, probably like partners or whatnot. But it's very interesting. I'm gonna see if Nintendo and Pokemon gonna do something about this. But they done these people, what their name is? Cause honey, what's their name? Pocket Pair done did this twice already to them. And I see that they have something called AI Imposter. Is this supposed to be similar to Among Us? Like. Ciao. Okay, y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comment area. And also, let me know what other gaming talk videos you want me to talk about. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is Bouldergate 3. I'm actually going to play the demo on live stream. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but be on the lookout for those 2 videos, the live stream of Bouldergate 3, the trial version. And also, I'm going to talk about Bouldergate 3 because we got to have a conversation about Bouldergate 3, y'all. We have to have a serious conversation about that game. But yeah. Let me know what other games you want to talk about. But as for now, just see y'all later. Peace.